Hello, everybody. What's going on? This is Ray Hernandez, joined, as always, by my man, my friend, my pal, mi amigo, Johnny Ice. Johnny, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, my eyes are barely open here, but what we're doing is we're dedicated and we're devoted to the fan base, so we're getting an episode in here real quick.
This is the squeeze play, our second squeeze play. So important that we get this one in because you and I both had an amazing experience this weekend, and it wasn't even together.
Separate entities, separate occurrences, but the whole complete weekend. We got it in.
We finally made it back to CitiField, and we thought this would be fantastic to just talk about our experiences for the first time in a year and a half, almost 2 years going back to the stadium. Ironically enough, I went with Ant.
Unbelievable. Nothing is holy, guys. Nothing is holy. We weren't in the same place at the same time, it seems like.
It's okay. It's all right.
Shout out to Ant.
Shout out to Ant. Hey, look, we're going to talk about it, but first, we've got to talk about birthdays because even though this is a squeeze play, we've got to keep our gimmick going. So, Johnny, cue up the Stevie and take it away.
All right, so we're catching up on birthdays, right? So 6/11, the other day, Jose Reyes, Frank Thomas, but not the Frank Thomas that we all know, the other Frank Thomas. And Steve Cohen was on the 11th, so, we missed out on wishing Steve Cohen a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Stevie. June 12th was Damon Buford and Keith Miller, not on the all-time favorite list, but they're there.
Hey, here's a fun fact about Keith
Yesterday,
Miller.
the game. Go ahead.
Did you know that Keith Miller was David Wright's agent?
That's the Keith Miller, huh?
That is the Keith Miller, my friend.
I didn't put the two together. Wow.
So don't feel so bad that he was a scrub player. He's done pretty well financially.
He's doing great. Speaking of well financially, James McCann, who signed to Love Week Deal as our catcher. Birthday was yesterday, the game I was at that we'll get to, which he did not start at. So I guess nothing is holy in Luis Rojas's book. And then really just go to 6/15, Dom Smith, Jeremy Reed, Brett Butler, and Tony Clark. We could do a whole episode on those born on June 15th.
Absolutely.
But alas, just getting the birthdays.
Listen, you missed
there.
one. You missed one. Don't forget Eduardo Nunez, who played like all of 2 games last year for the Mets on the 15th. So next year we will do a June 15th episode. Of course, the other thing that we're doing on June 15th tomorrow, just not an actual episode, but it is the anniversary of Keith Hernandez being acquired by the New York Mets. We've got a nice little blog post planned, so check it out, and we'll obviously talk about that another day. And then I just want to fast forward just a little bit to the 16th. Shout out, happy birthday to Calvin Schiraldi, because without Schiraldi, there would be no Bob Stanley, and there would be no Behind the Bag.
I just hear Vin Scully saying those names now, and I won't even try to imitate him. Look it up, Google it, put it on YouTube.
So everything comes full circle. But listen, speaking of full circle, it was great to be back at CitiField. Like we went Saturday, coming off the heels of the Mets winning on Friday night. Got to see Marcus Stroman. The crowd was electric. I mean, obviously not as electric as the night before with DeGrom, but it just had a whole different atmosphere. How about you?
Yeah.
Was that noticeable?
Agreed. Yeah, and I mean, it was a much smaller crowd there on Sunday, but everybody who was there was hyped, pumped, ready to go.
Did you get a rally? Did you get a rally towel?
I did. I was there very early. I got a rally towel. It's more like a giant microfiber cloth that you would use to like clean your monitor, as opposed to the old terry cloth rally towels. But you know what? Like to get a high res print of Mr. and Mrs. Met on it, that's what you got to do these days.
We were fortunate enough. We did get a Jerry McNeil, a Jerry McNeil, a Jeff McNeil bobblehead. So that was pretty cool. Speaking of bobbleheads, I think we should do a giveaway. I've got this Robinson Cano Obi-wan-Cano-bi.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
Bobblehead. What do you say we do a giveaway for one of our listeners? Maybe subscribe to our podcast, follow us on Twitter, and you could be entered and have a chance to win an Obi-Wan-Kano-bi bobblehead.
Yeah, just don't report any of our pages, and that'll be good. You know? do something positive. Reach out.
So John,
interact with us.
Listen, how many meals did you have? I have to know this because when we go to CitiField, we usually devour everything.
Well, I was scared by the line stories. I knew somebody who was there. I actually knew two people who were there Friday night.
Okay.
And they warned me.
Really?
That concession guys don't walk around.
Yes.
And the lines are nuts. So I got there and I was at Shake Shack by 11:15. So power breakfast of a shake stack. And
nice.
the biggest disappointment was $7 for a small Diet Coke. Yep, I was that guy. I had a Diet Coke, but my goodness. Also, maybe just a Shake Shack, I don't know. It had a sippy top, like a no straws or whatever. Okay. So it was kind of like the
we're going environmental
I was sipping
here.
It, and
yeah,
which I was fine with, and it actually didn't get all over me in my throwback Keith jersey, so I was good. And then if we're just to put a bow on the eating part, I was with the whole family, and they got whatever my little nephew wanted, whatever didn't have a line. So they went to that the stretch twist, whatever, the cheese place.
The fried Mott's, the Mott's place.
They got potato chips with the different types of cheese on top, and also like the grilled cheese sandwich that you dunk into the they call it tomato fondue. It's tomato soup, but come on, guys. But I had the leftovers. I was like the guy.
How was it?
Row. Like,
what'd you think?
It was actually really good. I really wanted some more things, but I didn't want to get up and wait on that line during the game.
Yeah.
We're gamers. We try not to miss anything.
No, absolutely. It was interesting because we got there. I did something uncharacteristic. I went, because I haven't been at the stadium in so long, I went with the traditional hot dog and fries. After waiting in line for a good solid 12 minutes. Here's why. Ant went before me. There was like not much of a line. We walked right up. It was maybe a 3-minute wait. He orders a beer. The keg kicks. The concession stand didn't, like, the people behind it had no idea what to do. And then he was like, you know what? I'll take the Coors Light. Don't worry. Let's just give you the Coors Light. And they're pouring it and it's foaming out. And then they called the food supervisor. I was like, for the love of God.
See, that would have been a good move by me. When I first got in, you go up the Jackie Robinson Rotunda, you grab a hot dog and fries, and you eat it on your way to the center field area.
That's
you go over the Shea Bridge. And by the time you're done with it, you may as well pick up Blue Smoke or a taco or La Fritas,
Well, listen, I will say around the second inning, that hot dog didn't exactly last very long. We did make our way down. We went Blue Smoke, no line at Blue Smoke. And so
wow, okay,
that was amazing. I did order the beans. First time I've ever ordered beans at
beans. Okay, you gotta watch out for the jersey. No shrapnel hitting the jersey.
I will say I took like one spoonful and then I thought better of it. So it really was a waste of $5, but I knew better than to try to finish the beans.
So
I wanted to try to get ice cream. Wanted to try to get ice cream around the 6th, 7th inning. The line was, forget about it.
Coming in, I saw that the apple
for $12.75 there.
Yeah. And then when I was sitting at the seats, I saw the full-size helmet with the nachos, which I don't remember seeing before.
That did look new.
Serious.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to our Twitter follower, the Chelsea Stern, also known as Princess Gefilte Fish, with the most amazing, no, it's true. She's awesome, by the way. With the amazing tip for the tipsy spoon in the Jim Beam Club. So apparently next time we go, there's like liquor ice cream.
Really? In the Jim Beam Club?
Yeah.
Is that over in that center field area over by the
I don't know. I thought it was the center field, but now that we're saying the club, I'm wondering if that was like that middle section that used to be like, remember we went there one time?
Yeah, I would always get it. It was the Caesars section. It was the Delta section. It depends on who has the
well, anyway,
rights.
We are going to go on a
Delta
hunt
now.
We're going to go on a hunt for this tipsy spoon next time we are at CitiField.
Absolutely, and hopefully that's soon.
So
Hopefully.
I feel
ahead.
bad.
I want to
John.
know any game highlights during your game.
I was just about to say I feel bad because I got to hear the horns. You didn't, but it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to hear the trumpets go.
Well, thanks to your Twitter feed, I got to hear them as well. So I got a little after the facts, but I scrolled through your videos on my banned Twitter account. Didn't interact with anything. Didn't want you getting in trouble, but I went through the videos and it was very cool. Thankfully, the one time I was going to take out my phone and record something, Yuri's Familia walked the guy, so I didn't do it, which I knew in advance that's what was going to happen after a 1-2 count. So
listen,
but thank you for those videos.
Hey, well, that's what I'm here for. Unique content, baby. Unique content. But no, it was a great game Saturday. It was, one of those games. Lindor gets the 2-run homer in the first inning, and then you're holding on for dear life for a while. But Stroman was so dominant, and then that Villar shot. We've seen some bombs, live. That one that left the stadium in a hurry.
Yeah, I did not see that one. I saw the Lindor. I was watching the replay. I got to be honest. Again, forgot about the 4:00 game. At about 4:15, threw on In the Heights and went through that. Very good, by the way. For those of you with HBO Max,
gonna have to check it out.
But it was funny because both Stroman and Lucchesi did their traditional walk to the bullpen.
Yep.
During batting practice or after batting practice, and nobody paid attention to them until they got past first base. Maybe that's where the real fans are, whatever, and they're
right.
Stro, give him props. Yeah, I'm telling the people I'm with, right when they come out of the dugout, I'm like, oh, I think that's Stroman, and they're walking by, nobody pays attention, and then boom, I'm like, okay, we're back. Listen, everybody's warming up.
I gotta tell you, I was a little jealous though. Obviously, we could talk about some of the other game highlights, but you got to see JD, which some Twitter fan was kind enough to allow us to figure out who that mystery person was.
JD in a a farmer hat and a LFGM cutoff.
Like I told you, it looked like he was going to the pool.
Ever
was he?
He actually came out holding a football. So I didn't know who this guy was. I thought he was like a Barstool Sports personality. Then he starts signing autographs during this little slit that they have in the netting. And I mean, the line went up 3/4 of the section and he just kept signing, taking photos. That's good for awesome. Him. He could stay on the IL and take pictures all he wants. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he could do that in the game.
I don't know if JD is ever going to play another game with the Mets based on how they are thriving without him. And you already have a log jam.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's his biggest problem. Is he's a man without a position. Quite frankly, we've got quite a few players without a position, but I can see.
I forgot about Brandon Nemo. Is he coming back this year?
He's another one that he got a second opinion on his finger. Apparently, it's not a nerve issue, so that's good. It was originally diagnosed as a nerve issue. So we just played the waiting game. I mean, we're doing a good job treading water, and it's just like, wow, you wonder about so many things going later on in the season, chemistry, etc. But it's like, wow, okay, we're holding it. We're holding up the fort. Well, I gotta tell you, you look at Peraza. I text my dad after the home run last night, yesterday afternoon, and I said, look, just give me Guillermo and Peraza all day. Put McNeil in left field and JD. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. The only other option, the thing is, I was gonna say, not to cut you off. The only other option would just be, because Dom has been struggling a little bit. He looked lost on Saturday. Not sure from your perspective. He might be the one that's on the bench or odd man out. Maybe you put JD in the outfield, or McNeil in the outfield. I don't know, but it'll be interesting for sure. But Dom absolutely looks lost.
Yeah, that Dom was the one who I was going to bring up. I mean, the at bats, it's just not working. I don't know what you could do with him at this point. It gets to be a little sketchy area because you're running out of roster spots and you really want him to get it right. But what opportunities do you have for him to get it right?
Exactly.
So I witnessed the same thing on, I think he struck out a couple of times yesterday too. It was just not good.
What was it like seeing the Tatis home run from your point of view? Because on Saturday, you want to talk about heel heat. He did the skip around third base. That was Stroman's only mistake of the day. And just seeing that live, I was like, it went from like an 8 with the boos to like a 12 once he did the skip around third base.
I don't remember who it was. So he just went pretty slowly, I'd say. And that's about it. There wasn't any real skipping I mean, it was a no doubt shot though. And I knew it was going to go back to back. I knew it. I was just there and I'm like, okay, this is just what happens. Just like the guys in front of me knew that the first pitch was going to be a home run against Lucchese. It was the second pitch, but I told you, this guy's a bum. Go back to Binghamton.
But then he did great. You know what? I feel really good about Joey Lucchese, and quite frankly, everyone's getting on the Luis Rojas fire Luis. There's some questionable moves. Okay, maybe you throw Lucchese in an extra inning. But at the same token, you got to manage that. And I always remember Davey Johnson saying he would take out young pitchers early in the 80s with the Mets so that they would leave the game feeling good. And who knows? I mean, you take him out in the 5th. Maybe it wasn't the right move, but maybe there was an ulterior motive. Lucchese pitched really well up to that point. Leave on a high. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that scares me is what you read in that, like, they don't want to have him go through a third time in the order, and it's just like, well, how many innings can you theoretically and realistically pitch if you can't go through the order 3 times? I mean, you're a long reliever that's starting the game.
I was going to say, he's already shown he's not a bullpen pitcher. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. Any other highlights from your perspective from first time being back?
Well, I had the crazy bird thing go on.
Yeah, that's right. You showed me a picture. I was like, wasn't that the Cespedes
and
bird?
I don't know if we have enough time.
We do. We've got 6 minutes before we pull the lefty.
This bird came flying in. And normally you're like, all right, pigeon, whatever. But you saw the blue and the yellow under the wings. I'm like, what is going on? Lands on a dude like 2 rows in front of me and just hangs out. And it's like I feel like one of those like house birds that is probably from the family of the one that came out in 2015, I guess.
I was going to say, it's Cespedes bird. It's a good omen.
And he just hung out on the guy for, it was great for a couple innings. We had shout out to, God, they're not called the Pepsi Party Patrol anymore. They're called like the City Perks Party or something. So shout out to Dre, who was in our section the whole time.
Nice.
With the crowd the whole time he was there. And then once the bird came, he wouldn't leave the section. He hung out with the bird. You could see that on our Instagrams, the picture of Dre trying to get the bird so he can kind of like walk it out. Really crazy.
That's wild.
But unfortunately it wasn't quite the rally bird, but definitely gave us good luck. It came in before the Peraza home run. So, it was around for a while.
Bring him back. Bring that bird back, man. Let me ask you, how were your seats, by the way?
They were great. Just great view. I was in 107.
106. Okay. All right.
107, which is like before you get to the bridge. That angle in the outfield, again, right by where the grassy knoll used to be in Shea, I would say, just right at that short. So you got to see all the exaggerated shifts on the right side of the infield up close and personal. I will say the seating around there is so weird. Yeah, I have. We took a picture of it and all the guys. We had a rowdy bunch in front of us razzing Machado the whole time, and it was a little nuts. But the seats in that section, if you look at it on the website, it just does that triangle thing.
Yeah.
So you have a row that could be 2 seats, and so it's a little wacky. I was sitting next to a cinder block wall, so you got to kind of had to walk around to get out. But it's classic. It was good, great view. The only thing you don't see there is the right field line, really, right under you.
Okay.
But no complaints there. It was great, and just great to be in it and back, I'd say.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were in section 511. Again, there's not a bad seat at CitiField. There really and truly isn't. I will say this. Next time I'm sitting on the other side by the third base side, because what winds up happening is the sun was peaking just a little bit. So everything was shaded.
Sun is important.
Those 4:00 games, everything was shaded except our section. So I think one half of my ear is still a little burnt there.
I was so prepared for that, and we just had it was a very cloudy day, but it was humid. Like the air was not moving, so it was 75 and cloudy, but it just felt hot. Plus, I'm wearing my throwback Keith jersey, which may as well be from like, the Ty Cobb era. It's like heavy, but I had to wear it.
It goes to show you we're going to do a jersey episode. I think we should do that because that would be amazing, especially compared to that Trevor May jersey that I just got, and how like paper thin that is.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of that, the last thing that I noticed is, wow, jerseys are expensive now. I saw the authentic no-name jersey on sale for $200.
Oh, $200,
which is
nice,
crazy, with no name on it. Authentic. I think the hats are now like $40. So glad I have a collection.
Well, listen, John, I appreciate you making the time for a squeeze play. I think both of us have to have breakfast. I think you have an 8:00 call. I have a 7:45 call. So listen, to our listeners, we just wanted to get together, kind of share some of our experience. Did you have an issue getting in, by the way, with your with your card, COVID card, or anything?
No, we were good. It tells you on the tickets that you should go to your gate or whatever, but we went in the Jackie Robinson way and it was fine early. I mean, they had a lot of staff at that thing, thankfully.
Yeah.
What about yours? You had a bootleg card or what?
Oh, no, I had the real legit card. I had to bring my passport, though. I had to bring my passport. We got 2 minutes here. I couldn't find my license. I'm trying to leave to make the 2.5-hour drive. For the life of me, could not find. I don't even know why my license wasn't in my wallet. We found it. It was in the washing machine later that night. But
oh my goodness. Okay. So, shout out to the Connecticut Department of Transportation.
Thank God I had my passport, and thank God I didn't get pulled over. But anyway, no, the guy just like looked at it. He's like, you're good. Everything went really well. I think the only challenge was just the concession lines. But and also when we pulled in to park, like there was only one booth open, which made no sense. But listen, growing pains, first weekend with a large crowd, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, we got to park in our favorite area, E6, which I now know what it's called, down there right by the old exit to get onto the Grand Central Parkway or whatever. So we lucked out there. But by the time my sister came later on, it was packed. They had to park, under the bridge in the marina on a boat somewhere.
That's what they get. That's what they get.
Yeah.
Listen, all right, we're down last minute. So, John, appreciate the squeeze play. If you're listening, obviously, share your thoughts and comments. Check us out tomorrow. Like I said, we have a very special episode for Keith, a blog post with some cool excerpts from Jay Horowitz, Ron Darling, and Davey Johnson. Subscribe to this blog, subscribe to this podcast, follow us on Twitter, and you might win an Robinson Cano Star Wars bobblehead. With that, John, I hope you have a good day. What do you have to say?
That's it, folks. Eat your lunch and drive home safe, everybody.